Cancun one event, and then he had to leave and go on a business meeting. And we had a few days before we started the second. We reproduced the second event, and it was the Wednesday night, and we were just getting ready to start, and he sent me this text like, OMFG. I need to talk to you right away. I would not bother you unless this was big. So like I never look at my phone before I go out. I'm like, and then I say, okay, and I say, okay, call me. He says, no, I'm going to FaceTime you because I want you to see my face. Truth?
True.
Anyway, this is Robert.
So, this is one of my favorite exercises, is to dimensionalize the objects. And so, it was Cancun 2 last year. That was our third workshop. And I'm like, I really need to do something different. And I was talking to my husband, and he said, well, your client is selling his company. Maybe he's going to give you a bonus. And I said, no, I don't want to do money. That's so crass. And he's like, no, do something. I'm like, well, how much? So we were taking a trip to Europe with our friends, and we're like, well, $10,000 would be great. I'm going to put $10,000, but it can't just be cash or a check. So I dimensionalized a wire transfer from my client on my phone, and in the meditations, I felt the phone, I felt the glass, and then even going down to the wire transfer, I could feel the raised levers. You get a connection with this. So the first object meditation.
Wait. So what he dimensionalized was on the screen of his cell phone, a transfer into his Bank of America account. That's what the image he had on there that would represent the manifestation. Are you with me still? Okay.
So we do our meditation, and we go into our object, and there's my $10,000, and I have a connection with it, and I'm radiating out, and I'm like, I'm going to get that $10,000. Something really strange happened, and the 10 turned, there was an extra zero, so it turned into $100,000. And I said, no, go back. And it was a tug of war. It went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then in that first meditation, I won. So later that night, we were with our friends in the pool talking about our objects and our experience. And they're like, well, why are you arguing with it? And I'm like, $10,000 is enough. I don't need $100,000. I need $10,000. They said, you're crazy. Take the $100,000. So on Sunday, we do our object again, and I'm going to let go. I'm going to surrender. And so I have the object, I have my $100,000, and it was, especially for the people who have done the advanced workshops, when that moment clicks, when something's going to happen. What? We don't know. Still, I'm going to be happy with $10,000. So I actually had to leave right after the meditation to fly to San Diego for a meeting. And on the flight there, I thought, I'm going to continue. You guys are meditating, so I'm going to meditate. So I do.
Now listen to this. You know what he did? He said, well, it hasn't materialized yet. I'm just going to collapse more waves into particles. I'm going to put more of my intentional thought and energy directed towards it, and I'm going to feel my connection to it and observe it again, so that it begins to form more density and more particles collapse.
And you guys, I have to say something. It really is that simple. I don't know what to say other than it is that simple. If you just let go and go to that place, things happen. So I do the meditation. I get to San Diego. In the morning, every morning, my husband and I, we meditate 1 hour every day, no matter what. I got up in the morning, I did my meditation. Right after my meditation, I got a text from my client. Hey, are you free to have breakfast? And I said, oh yeah, sure. So I go down and I have breakfast, and he said to me, I need your bank account number. And I said, why? He said, because I have a surprise for you. And I was like, yes. My $10,000. And I was like, okay, yeah. He said, you know, he sold his company. I had a chance to become an employee, and I turned it down. And he said, you know, you've always been there for us. You've helped us out. So I have a surprise for you. And I was like, So this is what popped into my bank account. It was $500,000. You know, and I don't want money to be like a crass thing, but this was a fun thing. But the craziest part was when he told me that, I had no elevated reaction, and it troubled me later. And I was like, this is so crazy. Why? Yes, I'm grateful, I'm happy, but it's weird. It wasn't a big deal. And Joe said, that's because you already experienced it. You already had the chemistry in the field. You already felt it. So of course it was going to happen. So you guys, it really is that simple.
Now, you know what he
Close your
did?
eyes and do the work.
You know what he did? He took a good portion of that money and he gave it away.
Yes.
You know why? Because he said if I created this, I should be able to do it again.
Yeah.
Yes or no? And is that the consciousness of abundance? That is the consciousness of abundance.